We'd like to welcome each and every one of you to this evening's meeting. This is the 18th meeting of the Board of Directors on this very brisk, I guess. We're going to get colder tonight, October 17th, 2023. So we'll begin with an invocation by Director Steve Trusty, and I'll lead the pledge. All rise.
Heavenly Father, we're thankful to you for the opportunity to come together tonight to conduct the business of the city. We ask for your guidance and direction in all that we say and do. May it bring results that are pleasing and honorable to you. Lord, we are disturbed by and saddened by what's happening around us in the world. We just pray that you'd show us how we could bring hope and peace and encouragement to those we come in contact with. You've called us to be bearers of your light and your word. So help us to do that. Help us to spread your love on earth. And we ask all this in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call this meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Director Aaron Holliday. Director Phyllis Beard.
Present.
Director Marcia Dobbs-Smith.
Here.
Director Dudley Webb.
Here.
Director Karen Garcia. Director Steve Trusty.
Here.
Mayor Pat McCabe.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Yes, we'll begin with the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda or items on the consent agenda to be moved to new business?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. Approval of the minutes of the regularly scheduled meeting of October 3rd, 2023. Are there any additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes as presented? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Director Webb, seconded by
Second.
Director Dobbs-Smith. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. We have, under recognition of guests, we have one proclamation. It's really more of a community proclamation. It's called the Extra Mile Day. I'll read that. Whereas Hot Springs is a community which acknowledges that a unique vibrancy exists within the community as a whole, when its individual citizens collectively go the extra mile in personal effort, volunteerism, and service. And whereas Hot Springs is a community which encourages its citizens to maximize their personal contribution to the community by giving of themselves wholeheartedly and with total effort, commitment, and conviction to their individual ambitions, families, friends, and community. And whereas Hot Springs is a community which chooses to shine a light on and celebrate individuals and organizations within its community who go the extra mile to make a difference and lift up fellow members of their community. And whereas Hot Springs acknowledges the mission of Extra Mile America to create 500 extra mile cities in America, is proud to support Extra Mile Day on November 1, 2023. Now, therefore, I, Pat McCabe, Mayor of the City of Hot Springs, on behalf of the Board of Directors of the City of Hot Springs, do hereby proclaim November 1st, 2023 as Extra Mile Day in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I urge each individual in the community to take time on this day to not only go the extra mile in his or her life, but to also acknowledge all those who are inspirational in their efforts and commitment to make their organizations, families, and community, country, and world a better place. And witness wherever I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the city to be affixed on this 17th day of October in the year of our Lord 2023. It's kind of an add-on to that. I received an email within the last week or so from a tourist who wanted to let me know how much she appreciated the hospitality within the community, and the hospitality was somewhat beyond those in the tourism industry. I guess when you're in a tourist town, we all are part of the tourist industry. She had a car issue and got it to a dealership and was provided a loaner vehicle. And she needed to get to a pharmacy because her medications had run out or so, and got to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist in charge called her community pharmacist and was able to get her the meds and got them. Normally when you go to the pharmacy, new prescription, they might say, give me an hour or give me 2 hours or come back in the afternoon, and they had it all done within 10 to 15 minutes. And
Wow.
And she had some other items in the letter, but those entities, make us all look good, and as well as those who provide, services within the restaurants or tourist attraction venues and things like that. So, as we talk about going the extra mile, this tourist received the extra mile during her time here. So, thanks to all those who go that each and every day, that extra mile. At this time, we'll hear the city manager's report. Mr. Burrow.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the board. Quite a bit tonight. It's fall. We're all working on budgets and looking forward to next month when we're able to bring that document to you. However, staff has had a lot going on, and first I want to talk about the police department and our new officers' badge pinning and promotions. On October 6th, the Hot Springs Police Department welcomed 6 new officers to the department and promoted 4 other dedicated officers. The new officers are Officer Daniel Dankert, Officer Larry Fowler, Officer Joshua Lester, Officer Alexander Lee, Officer Axel Rios, and Officer Austin Rogers. I know several of these are already, licensed law enforcement officers from other agencies, so we're really glad to see them coming over to us. And then Richard Davis, Joey Vandenberg, and Tyler Ward were all promoted to corporal, and Tyler Ward was also promoted. Nathan Ryans, who was promoted to sergeant. So happy for all of those 10 individuals. And, it seems like we have kind of a revolving door with some of our officers that are going on to some other pastors. We've had a lot of recruitment from one of our state agencies that recognize the training that we have in our officers and the dedication they have, and they've recruited some of those, but I'm glad to see us being able to backfill with some tenured officers as well. So I'm really proud of these guys coming on board and those that are promoted. I also had a couple of promotions in the fire department, and this was on September 30th. The fire department promoted 2 of its veteran firefighters. Firefighter David Kohler was promoted to the rank of driver, and Alan Goins was promoted to the rank of lieutenant. Lieutenant Goins is an 11-year veteran of the fire department, hired on October 15th of 2012. Lieutenant Goins is an EMT, a past member of the Honor Guard, a new hire committee, apparatus committee, search and rescue team, and the JHAT team. Driver Kohler, he's been with us 2 years, started in February of 21, and he's also an EMT and a member of our dive team. So happy to announce the promotions of those 2 firefighters. Linden Park will have a playground dedication on Thursday at 10 a.m. That's this Thursday. The dedication is a small youth playground that'll be in addition to the one we already have there, as well as some of the other amenities that we've had. This is a community development block grant partnership with the City of Hot Springs and the Whittington Valley Neighborhood Association. So we're glad to see that happening. It's installed, and look forward to Thursday when they dedicate that. Planning and development, we actually had a couple of calls on this today, and I believe Director Holliday has received a couple of calls. The HUD Pro Housing Grant application is something that the Planning and Development Department is working on. They're seeking input from the community on this particular grant that they will be submitting to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. This grant program provides an opportunity to implement many of the projects contained in the city's housing strategy, which is still in development. The goal, both the housing strategy and this grant application, is to provide more housing choices within the city of Hot Springs. The application is available for a 15-day public review and comment period from Saturday, October the 14th. That's going to run through Sunday, October the 29th. The application can be found in the City of Hot Springs website under the Planning and Development page, and then under the Forward Hot Springs link. Citizens wishing to submit comments can also send an email to Lauren Atkins, one of our planners, at LADKINS@cityhs.net. Appreciate the work they're doing there. That's a huge grant. It's a large number, so hopefully we'll be successful in that. Solid waste. This past Saturday, the Household Hazardous Waste event took place out at the fairgrounds. We had 158 people, or 56 people attending the event. Staff collected 35,193 pounds of hazardous waste, 644 pounds of electronic waste, and 213 tires. That's a huge event that takes a lot of effort from a lot of people. One of our partners there is Heritage. They're the one who actually handled the hazardous waste for us. This event is paid for by the Southwest Central Regional Solid Waste Management District, and we appreciate that funding and being able to hold this event. They also held one earlier in the year in the spring. So a total for 2023, we were able to collect 84,033 pounds of hazardous waste, 4,155 pounds of electronic waste, and 482 tires. And all of these are things that will be kept out of a landfill. So proud of the work they're doing. I know what that effort's like from experience, and it's a big day. So we appreciate what they're doing. Operation Clean Sweep is something that we have going on. Last week, Neighborhood Services team delivered 403 information packets to houses in the designated Clean Sweep area. Of those 403, they had issues notices to remove violations ranging from overgrown yards, trash and debris, inoperable autos, and wrote notices to about 66 out of those 403 properties. That's only a little more than 16% of the houses in the area, most of which our CHS inspector, Grady Young, has worked that area for quite some time. It also included a portion of the Pleasant Street Historic District, which is in Inspector Jeannie Deaver's area. This week, the Solid Waste Department is making rounds through that same neighborhood, picking up things at curbside that they've cleaned up and set out at no cost. So it's really a great way for people in that area to be able to clean up their properties and take advantage of the free service that we're doing to help them do that. In addition, the street sweepers by, the litter crews in that area. So hopefully we'll make a good impact and be able to make a big difference in that particular area. Next week, the inspectors will be back, and if those notices haven't been corrected, then they'll either deliver another notice with a second warning or issue a citation. So very pleased with the work they're doing. That's another big effort by several employees, and we're proud of them. Then two other items, and I'll stop. Downtown parking's been a big issue for us. Been working on that for several months, but we are pleased to announce that we've got the RFP out. We're seeking to modernize the operations and management in the downtown business district, specifically our parking system, and the parking garage. The RFP's been released. It's targeting accomplished vendors to implement and support a series of parking improvements. Presently, the city relies on dated coin-operated meters, which are really limited. They're on street. We don't have many of the meters up, but not as many as we used to. We have some both on and off street. The RFP solicitation seeks an integrated parking system that will provide smart parking meters and a new meter parking management plan. The whole platform is what we're looking for, one that can accommodate things such as Park Mobile or one of the other type parking platforms that are out there. They've really become the way people park. When you go to other cities, I've used them in just about every city I go to now has some form of this smart parking system. The city's downtown parking system, it's comprised of Exchange Street parking deck, on-street spaces, surface parking lots. This is a much-needed improvement. We've heard from really community, business owners, those that own buildings in the downtown area. This has been going on for 4 decades. We've had 4 parking studies. This is one that we committed to implementing. And so this integrated plan will hopefully be something we'll be bringing back to the board very soon. The proposal submission deadline is November the 6th. So we look forward to opening those, seeing what kind of packages are available, and bringing that to the board very soon. In addition, the parking deck, it's a tight squeeze. Everybody's been in the parking deck. And so when it's full, you don't know it. You get in there, you got to drive to the top floor, turn around and try to get back out. So we'll be having an inventory type program that will indicate how many parking spots are available in the parking deck. So Lance has really worked on this quite a bit over the past several months, and appreciate his work on getting that out, and look forward to opening that bid. The final thing I have is something that we really need to get this word out. We'll be taking an ad out in the paper, doing press releases, but Michael's Trenchless Corporation, it's one of our vendors working on the water supply project. As Energy starts the annual drawdown of Lake Hamilton, it's going to be 5 feet this year. It's going to start Monday, October 30th. Michael's Trenchless Company will be coming in right behind them and installing lighted restricted work zone buoys across Upper Lake Hamilton. This is in preparation for the installation of the 42-inch raw water transmission main across the lake bottom. This is a huge endeavor. We think it's going to last about 3 weeks. Boat travel on Lake Hamilton will be available both upstream and downstream of the work area. However, there won't be any navigation or any throughfares of the work zone. It's going to be up in the Treasure Isle area, if those are familiar with the lake. If you're not, be thinking anything from like the 270 West Bridge to the dam. I don't remember exactly how wide that is, but again, it's going to be about 3 weeks, 42-inch pipe, and it's a big part of our water supply project. In addition, we've got another crew, which is Michael's as well, that'll be over at the Big Mazarn area. We've got an area there where they've dug a 40-foot, 32 diameter hole, 40 feet down. They'll be taking what looks like the Miss Elaine, but it's called the Miss Queenie. We'll start drilling under Big Mazarn, and comes out 300 feet on the other side in a 16-foot diameter hole that's 60 feet down. So that's another big job. We're looking forward to getting those accomplished. But a big safety issue on Upper Lake Hamilton coming starting October 30th. It's going to last about 3 weeks. We hope we can get it done in 3 weeks, but 3 to 4 weeks throughout the month of November for sure. So be thinking about that. And the last thing I got, Mayor, I want to congratulate several of you. We're immensely proud to acknowledge the outstanding contributions of Mayor Pat McCabe, who chairs the Cities of Large First Class Advisory Council, who also actively participates in the Executive Committee and the Advisory Council meetings. I want to extend our gratitude to Director Karen Garcia for her dedicated work on the Public Safety Advisory Council, Director Steve Trusty for his pivotal role in the Economic Development Advisory Council, and then to Director Phyllis Beard for her significant contributions to the Cities of the Large First Class Advisory Council. Together, they exemplify the spirit of civic engagement and continue to drive progress in our community. I know our Deputy City Manager Spicer has served quite some time on the Cities of Large First Class Advisory Council as well. And we just appreciate all that additional work you're doing to make Arkansas and Hot Springs better. So, Mayor, that completes a pretty long report.
That's fine. Today's an okay day to have a long report.
I saw that.
Director's announcements of upcoming events. Any Director Webb?
Thank you, Mayor. But before we get into events, if we have any questions for the city manager, can we bring those up?
Yeah, relating to his report. Yeah.
I've got a couple. just to kind of check in on some things. You know, I think it was either late July, maybe early August. And you'll have to excuse me for not having the exact date, but the board did vote to remove an ordinance that dealt with some issues over at Greenbrier, with the understanding that the city would form a diverse committee to revise that ordinance and determine a recommendation for next steps. And the questions I have is just, has that committee been formed? Who's on it? Have they met? What about any revisions or next steps? Do we kind of know any details around that? Thank you.
Good question. Had the same exact question from David Showers at the Sentinel Record. I don't see him out there, but I'll answer both of you. The committee has been formed. Matter of fact, Mr. Keyshawn Hicks, who y'all have heard speak several times from the Greenbrier Apartments, is part of that committee. Another gentleman that's in the Higdon Ferry Apartments, we wanted to get a couple of tenants. We want landlords and then one other individual. I've got two landlords, one that is a multi-family landlord, and then one that's more single family, so we'll get a blend of both of those. And then Dr. Jarman has agreed to serve on the committee as well, so that'll be the 5 persons on the committee. I'll be the liaison. We have not met. We're kind of waiting for October 15th. There were a couple of individuals I feel need to be part of this. They were part of the landlord group that we met with prior to that particular item being removed from the agenda. So tax season ends yesterday, so they're available to meet. So I imagine that first week in November we'll start meeting. I don't think it's going to take a lot of meetings. I wasn't really pressing it to happen right away because of the change in temperatures, but it's one that we committed to doing. Now this committee, you know, it's a very finite thing that we're looking at, and it's basically the issue of having air conditioning in these rental areas. Air conditioning is not in the International Building Code or the state legislature or state law, so it is one that we'll be looking at to see how we might be able to implement something here. I appreciate the 5 that are going to serve on it, and look forward to meeting with them and talking about that ordinance.
Thank you. The other question is in regards to Evergreen. Do we have any update on the findings from Evergreen to help city determine the potential for wage increases for city employees?
We do. We had we meet with them every week. Met with them again this morning. I can tell you it's getting very, very close, and that'll be part of the presentation I give you on next Tuesday night.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Director Beard?
Is that all your questions?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question. Thank you, Mayor. My question is about something you said in the report. You'd mentioned, or could you just repeat what you said? I took some notes. It's something about 66 code violations out of 400, and then Jenny Devers was taking care of the Pleasant Street neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Can you repeat that, what you?
Sure. Neighborhood services staff, and you know, typically when we have this kind of event, it's all the inspectors, it's all hands on deck because we're trying to get that done in a week. But they, in that particular area, they visited 403 homes. Out of those 403, there was about 16% or 66 homes that had violations. Those particular property owners received a notice of what those violations were. This week, we're there to help them get that taken care of by offering free curbside service, litter abatement, street sweeping, those kind of things to help make that area more presentable. And then next week, hopefully those 66 will be complete, and those violations are no longer in existence, and we'll have them taken care of. If not, they'll either receive another warning or a violation or an actual citation.
And which particular area are you speaking of?
I don't have the boundaries tonight. You know what, hang on just a sec, we'll get those for you. It's a pretty good sized area.
Is it citywide, or is it a district, or more than, like more than one district?
So we
or-
try to do 4 a year, and we try to kind of rotate those around the city, depending on where that biggest need is. I'm trying to remember where the last one was. I want to say it was over in the, was that over in the Hobson area?
It was.
I thought it
In-
was.
The areas that we're working currently, there are 425 address points from Gulfa Street, Cottrell, south to the railroad tracks between Malvern Avenue to Cypress and Omega. It's on our city website as well.
What is on the city website?
The map is on,
viola-
the map of that area is on the city
Okay.
website.
All right, thank you very much.
Any additional questions of the city manager?
If there aren't, I had an announcement.
Please proceed.
The Giving Team with Janice Davis, is next Saturday, October 28th, from 10 o'clock to 1, and that's at Gulf and Church Street.
That's in 2 Saturdays, right? The 28th?
Yes, but we don't have any more board meetings before that one. So that's October 28th from 10 to 1.
Director Webb?
Thank you, Mayor. This is upcoming events, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The first event that's coming up, which is also Saturday, October 28th, from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 p.m., is the Hot Springs Police Department Drug Take-Back event. This will be located at the Police Department, 641 Malvern Avenue. This is a safe way to dispose of any unwanted or unused medication. All you have to do is come by, and members of the Police Department will be present to take those off your hands for disposal. And again, that's Saturday, October 28th, 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 p.m. Drug Take-Back event at the Hot Springs Police Department. The second event is Boo with the Badge. This is Halloween night, Tuesday, October 31st, 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the world-class Hot Springs Junior Academy, located at 401 Emery Street. This will also be hosted by the Hot Springs Police Department, who will be in costume and or uniform as well. I'm here in uniform. But again, that date, that's Halloween night, Tuesday, October 31st, 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Hot Springs World Class Junior Academy, 401 Emery Street. And then the last event, District 4 Town Hall, which I'll be hosting Thursday, October 26th at 5:30 p.m. will be located at First Lutheran Church. That's 105 Village Road in Hot Springs. It is open to the public. Guest speakers for the District 4 Town Hall will be Fire Chief Ed Davis, District 4 Justice of the Peace Jimmy Young. A few of the topics to be discussed will be neighborhood safety report, soccer at Kimry Park, the Majestic site, resource center, senior center, home winter preparation, and then an open forum. There will be food, refreshments, fellowship. Again, that is the District 4 Town Hall, Thursday, October 26th at 5:30 p.m., First Lutheran Church, 105 Village Road. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you. Any further announcements?
Mayor, if I could, I want to tag on to the Boo with the Badge. We spoke over at Forest Lakes just a few nights ago, and they've committed to taking a lot of candy over to the police department. There are so many kids that show up at that event, so if we have anyone watching, anybody wanting to help with Boo with the Badge, they can drop off bags of candy down at the police department and help them out. So thank you.
Bill, Director Webb was providing his report on Halloween, October 31st, that would be a agenda meeting. So are we still good with a 4 o'clock, or do we want to move it up a little bit, or?
I think we have a work session that night, too.
We do.
You have a very detailed work session scheduled. Following that, if you'd like to move that, I would be so inclined.
Yeah, I think that,
I would make a motion, because October, I think, is a month that has 5 Tuesdays, that we move that agenda meeting to the 24th.
Well, you're having an agenda meet.
Or no agenda meeting, but have the work session the 24th.
You're having your budget work session. That'll be a 3-hour plus.
Yeah.
Can we not
We
do
can
that
move
the
it to November-
24th?
We can take it to November 14th.
Oh, okay, I got you. I'm with you.
Is that dear Susan?
I'll take a look at what the options are.
Because some of us are going,
Go right ahead.
yes, some of us are going to NLC conference, and we will not be here on the 14th.
I think that's why we end up, I think that's
Yeah.
how we landed
I
on the
think-
31st.
Yeah, I don't think we have any room to move.
We think about 3 o'clock.
That's what I'm gonna, just move it up.
That's fine.
Or move it to Monday, if that's a possibility. Look at what the options are, and maybe you can assess, and
I mean, you have your regularly scheduled business meetings, and you're required to meet on the first and third weeks of the month. There is no requirement for an agenda meeting, so if you wanted to move your agenda meeting and the work session to Monday, the 30th, we could knock them both out.
On
I can.
Can't, it's a no.
On 30th, the AMP Commission meets.
well, Bill, you got your work cut out for you.
Well,
I was just going to suggest that the 3 o'clock, the 31st, might be what appears to be the most doable by the majority of the directors, and I'll make it work on my end too, to be a part of that majority, if we see that that's the best option.
Any projection on the time of the duration of the work session?
That's going to be director-driven, quite honestly. It's
your code.
It's your code that we're going to be reviewing. I'll tell you what I will do. I will get an advance copy out to you all with the sections that I think need to be highlighted, with a place for you to take some notes or jot down your questions, and maybe that will hasten our time that evening. But if we start with the agenda at 3 and go right into the work session, we should be able to finish that in an hour.
currently, we've got 17 items for that meeting.
That agenda.
So agenda will take a few.
So we start at 3, may get out of here at 5.
All right, well, thank you for all the input. If we need to, Bill, we'll see how it goes.
We'll send out a reminder.
Yep. At this time, we'll consider the consent agenda. This is of a routine nature that doesn't merit individual discussion on those varied action items, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Who made the initial? Over here, Director Trustee, seconded by Director Dobb Smith. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Consent agenda is adopted. Our only the only item under new business is to consider ordinance O-23-25, and I'll entertain a motion to suspend the rules to read by title only.
So moved.
Director Trustee, seconded by
Second.
Director Holliday. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Mayor, this is ordinance O-23-25, an ordinance accepting Bluebell Court and Coneflower Court as city streets. And for other purposes, that concludes your reading. If you would entertain a motion second to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Director Dobb Smith,
Second.
seconded by Director Trustee. And Ron will give us the staff report. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening. The developer at Wildwood Gardens, located off of Piper Street, has requested that the streets be accepted by the city. These streets have been inspected and meet city street specifications. Therefore, staff recommends approving Bluebell Court and Coneflower Court for acceptance of the street and right-of-way for city maintenance. We've accepted previous streets that are around there from previous phases of that subdivision, and they all connect. So it just makes to accept these streets for us.
Any questions of Ron? Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody sign up for this item?
No, sir.
Discussion amongst directors on this item. Hearing none, please call the roll.
Director Holliday.
Aye.
Beard.
Aye.
Dobbs Smith.
Aye.
Webb.
Aye.
Trustee.
Aye.
Mayor McCabe.
Aye. Ordinance is adopted. Board items for discussion. Any board member have items for discussion? Director Holliday.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention a local artist here in town who happens to be our first ever poet laureate. Kai Coggin received a region-wide award today, the Don Monroe Award for Artistic Leadership. It was the first year that award was given, and it was presented to her in Little Rock today at the statewide Art Links events. But that award is named after Don Monroe. Many of us will remember him as a great businessman of Monroe Shoes that we all know, and an amazing philanthropist. And the Mid-America Arts Alliance, in his name, has created this award, and we're really proud that Kai, who's a local here who did actually know Don, but has done a lot of really wonderful things in our community, got the first ever award. So we're very proud of her.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other item? All right.
I've got quite a few announcements here, but that we had so many others, I didn't read them. Is it okay to read them now?
Please.
Okay. On Halloween, we've got several people are having Halloween events. We've got Halloween at the YMCA, Halloween at the First Nazarene Church on Central, Halloween Glow on the Road, that's the downtown historic district, shopping district. And we've also got at David Watkins Park. I was trying to figure out what DFW was. And then I was like, DFW Park, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's got to be, yeah, David Watkins, I think it's David Watkins. And then at Crossgate Church, they're having one on Sunday, October 29th, and quite a few others going on around town, but those are the major ones that are actually on Halloween. And also, just a reminder, the last day of the main market season at the Historic Farmers Market will be Saturday, it just says the last day, will be Saturday, October 28th, from 7 a.m. till noon. And then there's also something going on at the Elks Lodge, but it doesn't say anything except the phone number, so I'm not sure what that is, but if you want to call the Elks Lodge, 380 Buddy Suite, 617-0769, you can find out. It also says Sunny Homes, which is probably Sunny Hines, and if it's Sunny Hines, it's cars. So call the Elks Lodge, they'll appreciate your call. Thank you.
Very good. Well, since we're kind of going back to upcoming events,
We flipped them.
I got to remember what the upcoming event was I was going to talk about. October 24th, I think it is. We have a ribbon cutting dedication for the new extension of the expressway. Of course, that'll be at Crossgate Church, and that's what triggered my memory when you made that comment. And also want to let the public know that starting October 16th through the 22nd, the Hot Springs Police Department is teaming up with the U.S. Department of Transportation's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration for the National You Drive, You Text, You Pay high visibility enforcement. So let's not text and drive. You know, let's pull off the side of the road. I find myself doing that, pulling off the side of the road, you know, getting out of the lane of traffic and answering a text and completing business and then moving forward. So let's be really careful out there. So, all right. Well, we're trying to extend this meeting to 8 o'clock. We're actually 6:39 right now. So
With the extension of your expressway, you can truly go that extra mile now.
the extra 5 point something. So we better get a motion to adjourn quickly.
So
Nobody-
moved.
Oh, my goodness.
I motion that we adjourn.
Director Dobbs Smith.
Second.
Director Webb reluctantly says yes. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. We are adjourned.
Anybody speak?